In today's tutorial, we are going to talk about connecting an invoice to your client session. So now that we're in invoices here, I'm going to select new invoice. From here, I have my issue date and I'm going to select the client. You still have the option to do your invoice template here, but for this particular tutorial, I am going to skip over the invoice template. Under session, I am going to select my client session date. My client has multiple sessions, so just make sure if they do that you select this correct session. My initial payment due date, you can select a calendar date. On the session, before the session, you can do days, weeks, months, or years, or you can do after the session with the same choices of days, months, weeks, or years. But for this particular invoice, I am going to say select calendar date because I want that first due date on the day that I send it. So I'm going to go ahead and create that invoice. Like always, I'm going to add my product here and hit the check mark. So with our new feature here, I am going to add a payment schedule. So the three little dots at the top, I'm going to do add payment schedule. For type of payment plan, we have retainer plus balance, retainer plus multiple payments, multiple equal payments, or you can also do a custom. For this particular invoice, I'm going to do retainer plus balance. As you can see over here, there is the session date that this invoice will be tied to. The due date association, you can have it relative to your session date or relative to your invoice issue date. For this one, we're going to do session date. So I'm going to say my retainer balance here is $5 or $50, $5. Once I've put in that amount, I just click outside of the box and then you can see my schedule of my payment schedule listed below. My first payment is due on the day that I send it, which is what I've picked today as the due date, and then on the session date. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. And when I come to this invoice, if I scroll down, the payment schedule is here. It is tied to my July 7th session date, so that is when the remainder of the balance is due.